So how about that homecoming? Woo! We can do that. We can do that. So I'm so proud to say that I actually went to school with Brent Key. So definitely cheering him on. So tonight it is so exciting to be here with you guys. It's a special dinner for me for a lot of different reasons, but it's also special because tonight is my anniversary. So I want to say happy anniversary, Hap, 12 years. Thank you so much for the best years of my life. I want to share with you 3 themes that have been important in my life and some stories from these themes that I hope will bless you and may be important to you as well. So the first theme is why Georgia Tech. So I'll share some stories about that. The second theme is resilience. We're going to talk about grit, overcoming adversity, and I've had a bit of that. And then the third theme is the mindset of a champion. And the mindset of a champion includes winning, but also giving back. So let me start. I was born in Brunswick, Georgia. I don't know if any of you have been to Brunswick. There are no tech companies there. So we are known for our port and our pulp mill. So when I looked around, I didn't see any female founders. I didn't see any tech companies, but I did really look up to my father. And my father was a builder. And I loved how he would go into a place where there was an empty lot, and he would go in with a plan and a team. And after he worked on this, there would be a home where people would build their memories. They would grow their families. They would celebrate holidays together. It was something that I thought of as a legacy. And so I really remember he would drive me through Brunswick and show me the homes he had built. And I thought, one day, I want to leave a legacy that I can see that impacts people's lives. So I was a very serious high schooler. That bodes well with Georgia Tech. I was very serious about my grades. I remember being so proud freshman year, and we had this banquet, kind of like this banquet, but it was to celebrate the academic achievements. And I was so excited. In 7 areas, I took home the awards. And I remember the dress I wore. It was a navy blue dress, and it had a gold sun and a gold moon. And I was so excited to talk to my dad after that ceremony. And he looked at me and he said, "Jean Marie, I'm so proud of you. You are smart. And now you are on your own." And I remember it as either the best or worst day of my life. So what he said to me, though, inspired me in multiple ways. He said, "You are smart enough to get a scholarship to college. And if you lose that scholarship, you can come home and ride the dump truck." So every now and then my husband will look at me and he'll say, "The dump truck's right behind you." And I know what that means. It was right behind me through high school. I was very serious about how I approached college, where I was going to go to school. So by the time it came time to choose a college, there were universities all over the U.S. that I had analyzed, I had applied to, I had looked at. And we visited 20 different universities, and I received acceptance and offers from many different schools. When I came on campus at Georgia Tech, it was so special. So Georgia Tech wasn't even on my radar before then. I was excited about the programs that they had. I knew that they were known for innovation, but the day that I came on campus, it was like the sun shone through the clouds, the skies opened up. I remember walking down the path to the student center, and something was going on because there was a lot of students outside. And I thought to myself, this is where the future is built. And it is. It is where the future is built. I thought to myself, look at all these different students of all different backgrounds, different languages. They're all different. They're studying all different things, and yet they're collaborating. There's a melting pot here that is exciting, and there's an energy that is like nothing else that I experienced at any other school. And I became very, very excited to come to Tech, and I'm so glad that I did. It was everything that I was excited about and more. See, at Georgia Tech, we do build the future. We do. The leaders in this room are not only athletes. You will build the future. That is what is so amazing. You will do things that you never dreamed you would do. So why Georgia Tech? It's an incredible school. It is literally the school for building the future. Now, my time at Georgia Tech was awesome. I learned so much. I also worked 3 part-time jobs. One of them was at the AT Fund. So I was Jack Thompson's intern. I worked with Mindy and Jim Hall. And one of the things that impressed upon me early was I got excited about being a part of the big things. So Jack was working, and they were all working on the capital campaign at the time. And at the time, I think we were trying to get new seats in our football stadium. And so being a part of this on the cutting edge of the energy that was going to literally change the face of sports for our school was very exciting for me. What was even more inspiring was I saw the athletes. So I worked in the athletic association, and I saw the athletes that were everyday champions on the field and off. I saw how hard they worked in the classroom, but I also saw how hard they worked on the field, and it was an inspiration to me. And George Godsey actually helped me get through chemistry. That just shows you the commitment of these incredible athletes. It's just something else, and I needed it. So. All of that to say, Georgia Tech is a really special place, and it does feel like it is not the easiest place to be. It is not a place known for its tailgates, but it is known for the type of leaders, the type of innovators, the type of grit that it takes to come out of this school. And I will say that actually helped me a lot. So I graduated in 2002, right after 9/11. There were no jobs. Companies were in a hiring freeze. And because of my Georgia Tech degree, I was able to get a position with a company that literally had a hiring freeze. That's what your Georgia Tech degree can do. It can open doors that you didn't even expect. My Georgia Tech degree helped me when, flash forward, I began to work in the tech industry, which I love. And at Oracle, they would not accept a product manager who didn't have a computer science degree. And I had a management degree, which I'm very proud of. I got that job because I had gone to Georgia Tech. It was really exciting, and it changed the face of the future for me. So I remember working with clients and working with sales teams at my time at Oracle, and the clients and the sales teams were asking, why can't we have one platform that does all 8 of these things? We have 8 different platforms that do these things. And they were talking about being able to, with one place, build a digital presentation, a website, an email campaign, do it all in one place. I thought, why can't we have that in one place? So I started doing research, and I was looking around to find this platform. I was sure it existed. It would be somewhere. Lo and behold, it did not exist at that time. So that was the start of the type of ideas that happen every day on Georgia Tech campus, but they also happen after Georgia Tech. You get this mentality of we can do that. It doesn't exist. We can build that. We can build the future, and we can make a positive change. And so I went all in, and now is a part of my story where I get to the adversity part of my story. So resilience. Resilience is also something we learn at Georgia Tech. Everybody that comes to Georgia Tech was the top of their class. They were the overachievers. They had the top grades. And then you get to Georgia Tech and you realize you're lumped in with all these brilliant, amazing people, and you're at the very bottom. And there's so many bright people above you, but it teaches you resilience. You have to have grit to hang on, and that grit pays off. So flash forward, I've gone all in to launch my own company after 5 years of research and development. And the first thing I remember was pulling into my driveway and telling my neighbor, Bryant, guess what? I'm finally going all in with iFolio. And he says, G. Marie, what are you doing? Don't you know 99% of startups go out of business the first year? Please call your company back that you were at before. Beg them to take you back. You're making the worst decision of your life. And this was the first word spoken to me. So I did not know that. I should have known that. It's a good thing to know. It is. It's a hard path for startups. But if you're a yellow jacket, you've chosen to be in the 1%. Everyone who's here tonight has chosen to be in the 1%, and you can be in that 1%. So I made a commitment. I am going to be in the 1%. I know you're thinking that the story goes up from here. Here's where, you come on the other side of the mountain. No, it got very, very tough. So the next thing that happened was I had been working on this for 5 years, so I had a pitch, and I go out and I start pitching potential clients and potential investors. I got 200 no's. 200. After the 12th no, you start to think, oh, maybe I should rearrange my closing. Maybe my intro needs to be a bit shorter. After the 22nd no, you start to get a little overwhelmed. You think, maybe I had the wrong idea. You have to have grit. You have to have a commitment. And you have to continually be seeking to be refined, to make it better, to learn something, even from those who are giving you a no. And that is something that we get from our Georgia Tech degree, but it's also something that is so important for us to remember, because adversity is going to find us, every one of us, whether it's in a match, whether it's on the field, whether it's in a job afterwards. Adversity will find us. But the commitment to see it through is so important. On the other side of 200 no's, I landed my first client. They were a California company, the furthest state away from Georgia, and that company, over 4 years, resulted in 3,000 more clients. It was the lifeblood that took my company to a next level. It was amazing. And you know what? If I had decided to quit on 199, all of it would have been lost. So today, I am so proud to say that iFolio is how I am building the future. Each one of you will have the opportunity to build the future in multiple ways. iFolio has grown. We're rapidly growing. We work with clients you've heard of, clients like Madison Square Garden and the Texas Rangers baseball team, and Cadence Bank, and Notre Dame University, and North Carolina State University, and even Georgia Tech, and Gamehers, and Playfly, and the list goes on, and it's all been hard work, but it's incredibly rewarding. And I think the most rewarding part for me is how this company has enabled me to give back. So I want to tell you about something that I'm going to ask the student athletes to stand and make a commitment with me shortly, and that is your bucket list for giving. Now, every one of us has a bucket list, right? I want to see the Galapagos Islands. I want to dive in the Great Barrier Reef. Hap and I got to see the Grand Canyon. How many of you have set a bucket list for giving? So the last item that I'll touch on is the mindset of a champion takes that grit, it takes that adversity, and it sharpens, and it continually gets better and better. And by the time it emerges, it is on fire, and it is ready to win, just like the teams that I see here in this room. And when you win, slow down and take a second to give back. It is so incredibly important. So by iFolio growing, I've been able to reach some of my dreams for giving back. So 10 years ago, I participated in endowing the first scholarship in someone else's name, and that's incredibly rewarding. Recently, I checked off another large bucket list item around giving, and my bucket list, I'm going to go ahead and voice it tonight because it's insane, it's absurd, and I'm going to put it out there. My bucket list is to be in the top 10 givers to Georgia Tech, the top 10. I'm number 86 right now. I've got a long way to go, so hopefully iFolio will keep on trucking because I'm going to be working hard. But I'd like to ask all of our endowed scholarship athletes, would you please stand up? Thank you, guys. All right. These are the leaders of tomorrow. You are the builders of tomorrow. You are the builders of the future. Now, I'm going to take 5 seconds, and we're going to shut our eyes, and I'm going to ask you to set an intention. I want you to set an intention in 3 areas. How will you build the future? How will you overcome adversity? And how will you give back in amazing ways? All right, now I'm going to ask everybody else to stand up. Let's cheer for these athletes, and let's figure out how we can give back in amazing ways. Thank you.